Okay, guys, let's get started. We still do not have a sufficient quorum, good quorum today, but that's okay. We'll get continued. We'll start with this. Today, what we are going to cover, it's few details on IPs. What are usable IPs? How do we check IPs, etc. Then we are going to create virtual networks separately. Yesterday we saw creating it once, but that was with the virtual machine. Now we are going to create a virtual machine with uh, as a dedicated resource in isolation without creating a virtual machine. Without creating a virtual machine, if you want to create a virtual network, how to do that, how to create subnets, we are going to learn that today. Then we are going to do one is VNet peering. I will explain it to you what that is. uh, I think yeah, that should be enough. These are very important topic, guys. Please, if you have any questions, please, first thing, please focus. Do not think that later you'll watch a video, you will ask me. Do not have that approach or that attitude. It's not going to help you. But later, even if you question me something, sometimes it happens I'm busy with something, even I won't read it properly, and I'll just answer yes or no, and you won't even understand that properly. So this is the time where you should be focusing and ask questions. Okay, so let's get started. Before that, before we start, do you guys have any questions on whatever we discussed yesterday?
Sohail, I have just one question.
Yes.
When we have created two virtual machine
Hmm.
yesterday,
Hmm.
at that time, we have disabled the firewall in both the machines, right?
Right.
Connecting RTP,
Right.
and then we have checked by pinging that they are able to talk with each other or not, right?
Right. Right.
Okay, this was just a clarity I want to know, and after this, I will create the virtual machine.
Sure, guys. And in steps, if you face any problem, feel free to watch the video again. This is the reason I'm putting it on YouTube. I'm putting it for you guys. So if you face any problem, that is the reason I do it slowly. That is the reason we make this cursor a bigger and colorful. So when you watch the video, you should get it again. So if you are stuck at any step, feel free to go back and watch those videos and try to replicate that. Okay, so if you guys do not have any questions, let me quickly ask these questions and then we can get started. Can someone answer if can resources uh, with the private IPs communicate with uh, can the resources in same, okay, something is missing and no one has raised this. Can you guys understand this question, by the way? Can you guys understand this question? This is the first question and I shared it on WhatsApp also. Did someone understand this question?
So it's basically, can private IPs communicate with public IPs?
Can resources in with private IPs communicate with public IP? Yes, but no one asked me for a clarification. What does it mean, or in what? It is an incomplete sentence or maybe incorrect in terms of English, but doesn't make sense. If I read as a question, I'll definitely ask for clarification. So either you understood it very well, yeah, if you are correct though, or you did not read it, guys. And I'm sorry to say, but I think the second one is correct. I don't think so you guys read it properly. And if you read it, I mean, it's okay. If I'm wrong in this case, I'm happy to be wrong. Okay, so the question is yes. Can resources with private IP communicate with public IP? So who can answer this?
By default, no. Resources cannot directly communicate with IR, private and public IPs.
So when you say by default, no, how can they communicate then? Do you know any method? Could you elaborate?
By use of routers, netting process.
Yes. Yeah. Why hesitations are in? Answer was correct. And guys, trust me, the moment you stress on something that by default no, it is bound to happen that your interviewer is going to ask you on the follow back question, the follow up question. That if by default no, then what is the option do you have? Answer is correct.
Okay.
Why hesitation? Both answers are correct. Fine. Next question, guys. Can resources with public IP communication can they communicate with other resources with public IP? For example, I have a machine with a public IP. Can I communicate with another public IP? Example of another public IP could be YouTube, Facebook, anything.
Yes.
Yes, simple answer. Someone else, please. Now, can resources within the same VNet and same subnet communicate with each other over private IP? Are you guys getting the
Yes, they
question?
can.
Fine, correct. Now someone else, please, other than Uzaif and Zareen. Okay, the question was, can these two machines talk to each other? That was the question, guys. Now the next question is, can resources within the same VNet and different subnet communicate with each other using private IP? Public IP, definitely they can. Hence, I have specified it private IP. So now my question is, can resources within same VNet, so under this VNet, UT-Kloud VNet, East US, two resources which are in different subnet. One is in client subnet, let's say one is in gateway subnet. Can they communicate with each other?
Yes.
Yes, they can.
Yes.
I hope you guys are getting it, right? Because these are close-ended question. Either yes is correct, if not, no is correct for sure. But I hope you are getting the rationale behind it, not just saying yes and no. The last question here is, can resources within the different VNet communicate with each other on the private IP? Now the question is, can this machine
No.
talk to this machine?
No. No.
No.
No.
Anyone else who thinks that yes they can? Obviously by default I'm talking about, not talking about any other option here. Anyone who
Sir,
thinks they
because
can?
this is a different VNet, so they can't
Yeah, got your
talk
answers to this.
to
I'm
utility.
saying anyone else who thinks it can. You said it cannot, right?
Yes.
Got your answer. Anyone else who thinks it cannot, it can talk to each other because they are in Azure, both of them are in my subscription. I can see them so they can communicate with each other. Anyone has that understanding? Okay, if no, it's correct. Satish's answer is correct. Though they are in same subscription, though they are in same tenant, everything, but VNets, they cannot talk to each other. Virtual networks, by default, they cannot talk to each other. They are isolated from each other. I hope this is clear till now. Okay, I have few more questions, guys. Like I told you that if I have created one virtual network, let me open portal. If I've created one virtual network, guys, and I have created a machine with that, and now I'm creating a second machine in the same region. Okay, don't go by this example. Let's say first machine I created in South Central US. With that machine, I created a VM, and that was in Tsoft resource group. Now, second machine I'm creating, it's in same region, South Central US, but a different resource group. Will I be able to utilize the same virtual network or not?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
We can, right? Now, my question is, yes, we can definitely do that. VNet, storage, subnet, everything you can use across resource groups, irrespective of the resource group, as far as you have access and they are in same region. Definitely you can use. But there is one resource which you cannot use, and we have discussed that in detail. Who can answer that? There's one resource, even if it is in same region, even if it is everything same, they cannot be used across the resource groups. For example, if I have that resource in this resource group, I cannot use that resource here in this resource group. What is that resource? Yes, guys, I'm going to give you 30 seconds, 1 minute. Think about it, whatever we did till now, and then answer it. But if you're not getting this answer, you're definitely forgetting something from behind. It should not happen. I told you that you are doing very well with VNet or with networking segment, and then you are forgetting compute segment. I already gave you a hint. Anyone?
Availability set.
Yes, guys. Availability set. Do you guys remember? If you create an availability set in Tsoft, Even if you create the next you try adding a machine to availability set in South Central US, but that machine is in test RG, then you will not be able to utilize that resource because it is in different resource group, and that is the only exception we have as of now. Other than that, if they are in same region, you can use it across the group as far as you have access. Do not mix things with access, guys. Okay, just because I'm saying that a person who's creating a machine in test RG can use a virtual network which is in Tsoft, this is implied that that person should have access. Let's say if the owner of this test RG, that person doesn't have any access on subscription level, will he even see the virtual network which is there in Tsoft? Will he even see the Tsoft resource group?
No.
Right? So
No.
do not mix accesses and this thing. All what we are talking about, this is provided we have access. We are talking about network possibilities. Access is something different. Access है तब use कर पाएगा definitely. But from network point of view, yes, it is possible. As far as you have sufficient access, you can do that. Okay. Now let's talk about let's start a new topic, and we'll discuss about IPs, and we'll learn to create a virtual network also. And both topics will go hand in hand together. We'll learn to create virtual network, and that's where you will learn the number of IPs which we get to use. And these are very important questions. They do ask this in interview. So if I have to create a virtual machine or a virtual network, what I'll do, let me go to a different subscription. One method is I can create a VM, and while creating a VM, I do get an option to create virtual network. We all are familiar with that. Anyone wants to see that? Yes, guys, anyone
No,
wants to see
sir.
that again? I am sure you all of you are aware of this, and yesterday we saw, if I do not want to take, yesterday we see we did see this, that if I do not want to take the default one, or maybe existing one or default one, how can I create a new one? Okay. So if I want to use an existing one, this is what I can do. I'll simply just use the drop down and I can use one of these. Right? If I want to create a new one, I can create it from here, or it gives me a new one by default. Bracket में new लिख कर आता है, I hope you remember that. But I do not want to do that. What I want to do is first create virtual machines, create subnets, etc., everything, and then I will start creating my machine. By the way, that is the correct procedure. When you go to live environment, you will never create a virtual network while creating a machine. You will always get a separate request, a dedicated request that I need 10 machines, 2 virtual networks. So one of you who is working on virtual network, first that person will complete his task to create virtual network. Then the person who's working on virtual machine, it will start working on his task, his or her task. Okay, so to create a virtual network, you'll have to search here virtual networks like this, and you will see your existing virtual networks here. But I don't want to do anything here. I want to create a new one. Fine. Let's create 2 virtual networks. Okay, I'm creating 2 virtual networks. So I click on create. Look at the steps carefully, guys. If you want to write it down, do it. Otherwise, the steps are already written here in my OneNote. But if you want, it's better that you write it down as per your understanding. It's always better that you write it down. Otherwise, all steps and everything is given here. So I'm creating a new folder here, new resource group, because I'm going to put some machines also here. It's a long practical. Break it in, we'll do it in isolation, understand each segment, will proceed, but we are going to reuse it again and again. So first thing, I'm creating a virtual network. To create by the way, can I create any resource without a resource group? Be it virtual machine, virtual network, storage, any resource without a resource group, is
No.
it possible? No, it's not
No.
possible, right? So even if I'm creating a virtual network, either I will have to select an existing resource group, or I will have to create a new resource group. So guys, this practice I can do in a manner, you tell me which is easier for you. I can take 2 entities, and when I say 2 entities, everything, your machine name, your VNet name, everything will be based on these names. So I can take these 2 entities and then do the practical if it is easier for you to understand, or I can take 2 cities name and then do it, which is easier for you to understand. which will make
City name.
city name. Okay, let's go ahead with city name then. So first virtual network I'm creating. So let's start with the virtual network. To create a virtual network, I'll obviously require a resource group. So I'm going to start with this same city name. I'll create a resource group with the city name, and with the same name, I'm going to create a VNet also. So I'll call it Pune VNet. Clear? I'm saying resource group is Pune, VNet is Pune. I'm putting it in East US. Security, as of now, we are not discussing, though we are going to cover Azure Bastion, Firewall, DDoS, everything. As of now, we are not touching that. Next, IP range. This is where we are working on. I hope you guys remember from yesterday. I am saying the maximum what I want is 2000, 4000 IPs, not more than that. I've done every calculation. I do not require more than 4000 IPs. So you guys tell me which CIDR block should I be using here. I want 4000 IPs. Current utilization, future utilization of 5 years segment, everything I've considered in 5 years forecasting. In maximum I will require is 1800, but still I'm giving you 200 extra, and I'm saying you, sorry, maximum I would require 3800. I'm still telling you, let's take some extra and put some 4000. So which CIDR block will I use?
20.
Perfect.
4096.
20.
Okay. Now this is my whole network. Under network also we have subnets, right? Why are these subnets? Okay, one more thing, guys. Yesterday we just talked about one company, that in one company we could have multiple departments. But there is one more method. I told you, if you guys remember, I talked about CSP, cloud service provider. When one company takes a cloud subscription from cloud, and then they sell it or they handle it for multiple companies. So that time also your this networking will come to picture. Now let's say that I am a company, UT-Kloud, and I have multiple clients, Pune, Mumbai, Bangalore, these are my clients. And I want to host all of them on the one particular subscription. I will be paying to Azure. I will make sure that I have good architects and I have administrators. They will make sure I get less billing, and then I'm going to charge a fixed amount to these companies. तो यहाँ पर भी जो है आपका networking बहुत काम में आता है, because I want to isolate all of those companies. Pune company will not like if Mumbai company they have access on their data. Mumbai company will not like if Pune has access on their data. Bangalore will not like, and similarly, no company will like this, that the other company has access, even if they are not in same business, not competitor at all. Still, they will not like that their data is being shared with someone else. So that time also, I mean, in this scenario also, they use virtual network. So they are isolating everyone. Now maybe this range they are giving to one company, next range they will give to another company, next range they will give to another company. Now imagine if I do not use CIDR, or if we did not have CIDR, and if I use complete range A, class A, what will happen then? Next company comes, what will I do? If I have utilized complete class A on Pune company, okay, but being a UT-Kloud, it's my job. I am my client, I get more clients, and I host cloud services for them. I have 6 or 8 clients. My Pune is my first client. So for Pune, instead of using CIDR block, I'm using complete class A range. Then comes the company B, Mumbai company. Which range will I use then? If I have used class A for Pune, what else am I left with?
Maybe
Class
class B
B.
or C.
Class B or C, right? Depending on their IP. Let's say I have used class C because they needed less IPs. I used C. Then I got another company, Bangalore. What am I left with?
Class B.
Class B. Fine. I'm happy. It's working fine. But now I got another 3 companies. Hyderabad, Chennai, Amritsar. I got 3 more companies. What will I do then? Is it okay to put their data also in same subnet, in same VNet? Not at all. They're
No.
not going to like it. That is the reason we are doing this CIDR. So out of those 65 million or 16 million, whatever IPs I get here, how many am I using here? Only
4096.
4096. Remaining IPs are still there and I can still use them with different CIDR blocks. Got it, guys? Maybe next client, my next client comes and the client says, I need only 10 machines. Maybe I'm going to use this one. Another client will come, will say, I need only 200 machines. I'll use this one. I hope you're getting it, right? So this is how I'm breaking the network. Class A break, class B break, class C. Then I have n number of it. That is not going to finish very soon. But you don't have to worry about it. I told you, if you get this everything, you will get it. Okay. So now I have 4096 IPs, but this is a company. Again, this company also has some department. So they are saying, okay, for our HR department, we required how many IPs? We required 200 IPs. So I'm saying, okay, fine. Which one? If I need 200 IPs, which one will I use?
You will go to 24. It will give you
24.
256.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, can I go ahead and use 5000 IPs? Can I use this one? Anything which is beyond 20? Can I use 19? When I say beyond, the number is smaller, more IPs you get. So is it possible for me to use this as a 90, CIDR block as 19? For a subnet, can I use a CIDR block as 19, guys?
No, you can't.
But your requirement is above 200, right? 200 IP
No.
address.
Yeah,
So-
that forget the requirement. This is a separate question. My simple question is, can I use 19?
You can.
I can?
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Of course I can't. If I use 19, the moment I select 19, what does it mean? How many IP address? My question is related to subnet, guys. Okay, not talking about here. I'm talking about a subnet. Can I use 19 on subnet? Look at this. By the way, it won't even allow you. It won't even let you go to 19. The 20th is last. Why? Because the moment you say 19, which means 8000 IP address. But how many IP addresses do you have in your VNet?
Maximum 4096.
Yes. Maximum you have
4096
4096 at your VNet level. So how can you select 8000 IPs at your subnet level? So you cannot. What you can do maximum, it's use all of them. Use 20 and use all of them. Yes, you are free to do that. Use 21, use half of them. You are free to do that. Use 22, use 1/3 of them. You're free to do that. Or use as per your need. Maybe one department is saying I need only 200. If they are saying 200, obviously I cannot go for 128. So I'll go to the next number available, which is 256. This is what I'm doing. This is HR department.
Sir.
Okay, NAT gateway, etc. We are going to discuss that later. As of now, just focus on this one. Yes, someone had a question.
Yeah, sir. Once we selected 256 address, IP address, afterwards client say I need 4000. So we can change afterwards also.
You will have to delete that and create a new one, provided you have sufficient. Let's say that this is 256 you created, okay, and you created another one, and this one you used almost 2000. Okay, so if your client is saying after creating this, if your client say that I want 4000 in this one, then you will have to delete this one also, the one which you have created, and then you'll have to edit this one. And this is only possible when your machines are not yet attached. Once you have running machine on this, then it's very difficult. You will have to move all those machine, almost next to impossible. Technically possible, but you will never see such request. Better than that, what they will do, they will create another virtual network. Okay, so you'll never see such request. And even if you get that, it will go to your architect team and they will figure it out, everything. What you will get is just deployment. Okay, but you will never see that network architects, they will plan it very carefully. They will always keep something in extra, but they will never go and keep something minimum. They won't do that. बहुत ही crucial काम होता है. It's a serious job. You will never see someone very casual and चलो कर दिया था हो गया. No, network landing zone. This is called your landing zone. One of the landing zone setups में से एक चीज है. Network बना रहे हो आप, बहुत ही ज्यादा डिटेल में बनता है. इसमें बहुत सारे फॉर्मूलाज यूज होते हैं, बहुत सारे टूल्स यूज होते हैं, इसमें आपके बहुत सारे मेथड्स यूज होते हैं, अजाइल प्रोसेस यूज होगा, एवरीथिंग योर सिक्स सिग्मा यूज होगा कि कोई एरर का चांस नहीं हो, क्वालिटी होगा. देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ वर्क बिहाइंड इट. When I tell you your architect team is sending you this one or an Excel file, they simply not just send it to you in one day. Network architecture जब करते हैं हम लोग तो बहुत ही डिटेल में डिस्कशन होता है. So don't worry, you will never face that. And even if that situation is there, you don't have to tackle it. Your architect team will do it, and they will simply tell you क्या करना है. You are presenting yourself as an implementation engineer. Don't forget that. But I keep on telling you this so you understand what is running behind it. Then what is the rationale behind it? Otherwise, your job is just to deploy, and that is what we are targeting. To every one of you, what I have discussed, what package you guys are targeting, you will get it easily in implementation engineer. 10, 12, 15, 16, you get easily. I have not spoken to anyone who's targeting 35, 40, 45 for architect role. So we are not discussing that here. We have different classes for that, right? So don't worry about it. No one is going to ask you that. Yes, they can ask if it is possible to delete. Technically, it is possible, but it has a lot of work. You will have to move those machines. If your machines are running on this subnet, you will not be able to delete it. That is for sure. Okay, so now I've created one subnet called HR, and it is using 256 IPs. Now I need one more subnet. Okay, in let's say one more subnet I want, and this is legal department. It's a normally legal department. It's not that big in any company. So I'm saying I hardly need 100 IPs here. Which one will I give them? Give it to them. Which one? Yes, guys. Which one should I be using for 100
You will
IPs?
go for 25.
25.
25, 128.
25. And is this correct? The IP, should it start from here?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes.
Okay, let's say. Got it? Why is it starting from 1? Because we have already used here till 255, and last time we saw 255 होने के बाद यहाँ पर एक बढ़ जाता है. ठीक है? Now I am having my third subnet. So I hope you are getting it right. What is the subnet? I'm just trying to make this for you so you guys understand it well. Okay. Now I need a third one. This person is saying I need only 64 IPs. It's okay. I need only 64 IPs, and the department is marketing. Now the question is, guys, here is the tricky question. Which one should I use? I need 64. No, this is not
Sir,
tricky,
I
by the way.
will be
64,
use
it's okay. I've
25.
considered, yeah.
26.
No,
26.
both answers are
20.
correct. Both answers are correct. But if your architect team is telling you to use 26, so use 26, because maybe they have already spoken to those guys and they are saying कि यार 64 ही हमने exaggerate करके बोला था, वैसे हमको 50 ही लगते हैं. Okay, so you don't decide it, guys. By the way, I hope you understand it very well. You don't decide it at all. You don't put your head here. You don't put your thinking here. You do what you have got in your email, what you have got in your build sheet. You will not have a chance to give this excuse that I thought you will require in future. No, your as an implementation engineer, your job is just to do what you have got in your build sheet. Okay, once you have experience, you will have your own chance to do that. But as of now, you will do what is there in your build sheet. Okay, now the question is this correct? The 2. Is it correct, or can it be used in some different manner also?
It is correct. It is correct.
Okay, what about others? What do you
It's
think?
wrong.
Who says correct? Why is it correct? What is the rationale behind it? Why is it correct?
Because if I don't know if I'm correct, but if we see on legal IP, it states 10.0.1.0. Okay, so as sequence, it's correct. 10.0.2.0.
Not really. Who says wrong?
Sir,
Someone said wrong. Sadish, let's take the answer from a person who said wrong. Who was that? Who answered wrong? Feel free to speak.
Zareen.
Yeah, Zareen, please.
Zareen.
Feel free to speak, guys. This is just training, and I haven't even taught you this topic. So just trying to understand your logic. So it's okay. Right, wrong, it's completely fine. Yes, tell me. Why do you think it's wrong?
If we are taking only 128 IPs, then 10.0.1. 127 plus 128. The next IPs maybe that.
Is that you're saying?
Yes.
Yes. Technically, perfect answer. Nirmal, see, this point you missed in one aspect. You missed this point because here we did not
Okay.
use all 255 IPs. How many did we use? We used only 128 IPs. So this one still has 128 IPs left in this. And how many do we require now? Only 64. So why
64.
to just simply jump to the next one? Why can't we use 64 out of these 128 remaining IPs? And here I'm using only 64, and we still have some IPs pending. Next request agar aata hai 8 ka, I can still utilize it. But why I wanted to give you a chance? Your answer was correct in a way, but your rationale behind it was incorrect. I'm not going to use this, Zareen. Why? Technically, your answer is correct. Your understanding towards IP, it's perfect. I appreciate it, but I'm not gonna use it. Why will I not use it? Can someone tell me quickly? We just have 2 minutes. If you guys don't have answer, I will.
Will
The last
it
IP we
will
use reserved for network, I think.
No,
it
we are
will
not
go
talking
into
about
same
that.
subnet.
We are not yet at the last IP. Whoever answered that last IP, it's 255. We are not even if I use it for legal, I'm still left with many IPs. If I use it for legal, see, I'm going till 191.
Yes, yes.
Last IP is
Got
still
it.
there. Yeah, sorry. Someone was trying to answer. Satish, was that you or Zoeb? Was that?
It will be in the same subnet.
Sorry. Yeah, it will be in same subnet. That I understand. But
You
what
are
does it mean?
taking an,
So what? How does it matter if it is in same subnet?
So they can communicate with each other, legal and
Perfect. Yes,
marketing.
yes, yes. Two things, guys. One, it's I want legal team to have access to. I want marketing team to have access to YouTube. I don't want legal team to have it, or vice versa. Plus, if they are in same subnet, marketing team people will be able to check legal team's file, as in not literally go and check, but scope is there. Why? Because machines or resources within same subnets, they can communicate with each other. I hope you are you remember that method, right? So I do not want
Yes.
that. If my IPs are being wasted, I'm happy, but I want to keep them separately. I do not want legal to check what marketing is doing. I don't want marketing to check what legal is doing. Okay, this is the rationale. Only 30 seconds are pending, guys. I will close this session and I'll see you in 5 minutes. 14:45 using the same link. Satish, if you have any questions, we'll take that in the next session. Okay, guys, see you in 5 minutes.
Thank you.